The paintwork as on most Japanese cars is very soft. In addition, the anti-corrosion treatment of the body is not the best. And this leads to the rapid appearance of corrosion at all welding points of the frame. Outside, the rear doors, seals and wheel arches require special attention. Most quickly, the red disease spreads on cars imported from the Emirates. If the rear door has a spare wheel, check the door for sagging. If when driving over bumps, a rattle is heard in the doors, most likely the reason is plastic lining or hinge play. The chrome plate body elements of the Toyota Land Cruiser Prado are very afraid of reagents and become cloudy in the first years of operation, and then they begin to peel off. The Toyota Land Cruiser Prado 120 was equipped with the following types of power units: gasoline 2.7, 150 and 163 horsepower, 3.4, 4.0, 240 horsepower, diesel 3.0, 163, 173 and 195 horsepower. As operating experience has shown, gasoline power units are very reliable, and even with high mileage, they rarely bother their owners. The time in drive for all motors is chain. The metal chain lasts up to 300,000 kilometers without replacement. When using low-quality fuel, the fuel injectors are the first to suffer. They need to be washed every 50,000 kilometers, and after 200,000 kilometers, changed. A signal about the need to clean or replace the nozzles will be unstable engine operation, poor direction, increased fuel consumption. The same symptoms appear if the subframe filler, which is located in the gas tank, is clogged with dirt. This happens after 150,000 kilometers of run. The fuel pump runs about 200,000 kilometers. In order to change the fuel filter and pump, it is necessary to remove the gas tank. On some cars, especially 2003-2004, it breaks the cylinder head gasket, which can lead to serious problems. Of the minor problems, the most common are a cooling radiator leak, a pump failure, and clogging of the oil filter housing. Closer than 200,000, a starter replacement is required. Inflating problems appear due to the failure of the turbocharger actuator, which changes the angle of the turbine blades. The reason is in the drive mechanism with plastic gears, which were rally due to the high resistance of contaminated turbine blades. Periodic cleaning of the air path, including the turbine, from foreign deposits will significantly extend the life of the actuator. Diesel engines are not famous for their reliability and have a number of problems, the main cause of which is the poor quality of diesel fuel. The most common of this is piston burnout. Also, after 120,000 kilometers, fuel injectors may ring. Replacement is quite expensive, $400 pieces. The time in drive for diesel engines is belt-driven. The scheduled replacement interval is 80-100,000 kilometers. The Toyota Land Cruiser Prado 120 was equipped with a 5-speed mechanics, a 4- and 5-speed automatic transmission. Operating experience has shown that both transmissions do not have significant shortcomings and have a long service life. Prado with mechanics in the secondary market are quite rare. Automatic transmission, from a technical point of view, is quite reliable, but there are complaints about performance. So in particular, the owners complain about jerks during gear changes. Often, changing the oil in the gearbox helps to solve this drawback. Box failure occurs on cars manufactured in 2003-2005. The all-wheel drive system for cars intended for the European and Arab markets is completely different, and if Arab cars have all-wheel drive, then in European cars it is permanent. The most common problem with European versions is the differential lock. The fact is that on the transfer case, there is a block with an electric inter-axle lock motor, which can fail, called the actuator. Replacing the actuator will cost $300. Also, over time, after 150,000 kilometers, the gearbox oil seals begin to leak. The front suspension of the CUV is independent, the rear is dependent, spring, continuous axle. This model can be equipped with both conventional and more comfortable air suspension. Depending on the operating conditions, air bellows leave 120-150,000 kilometers, and U1 will cost from $150 to $300. The pneumatic compressor takes care of 180 to 100,000 kilometers. They asked for about $300 for a new one. The body position sensor leaves 130,000 kilometers. If the sensor fails, the car will always be in the upper position. Replacing the sensor will cost $500. Shock absorbers have a very long service life and can last more than 200,000 kilometers. Ball bearings serve 150-180,000 kilometers. Replacement is quite expensive, since they change as an assembly with the lower arm. Replacing the stabilizer struts is required every 80-100,000 kilometers. Wheel bearings have to be changed quite often, once every 50-80,000 kilometers. Also, the steering rack requires close attention. On a 5-7-year-old Toyota Land Cruiser Prado, you can notice that the car is skewed to the left side. To fix the problem, you need to swap the springs or replace them with the new one. I would like to note that the cost of suspension parts is not more expensive than that of other manufacturers, but they have a longer resource. After 5-6 years of operation, the braking performance deteriorates, the so-called cotton pedal. Unfortunately, this problem is not treated by standard methods. Calipers and guides can sour and wedge, therefore, at each MOT, they must be lubricated. If you are the owner of this car model, please describe the problems that you had to face during the operation of the car. Perhaps it is your review that will help readers of our site when choosing a car.